Hello everyone. So in this demo, I'll talk about observability for AI agents. So for that, I have prepared a AI agent called data analysis agent. So first, I'll explain you about that data analysis agent, and then we'll come back to observability part. So what does this agent does? This agent does three things. Yes. So what it does is it connects to a SQLite database and it does the schema discovery. So it finds out what all tables are there in that database or in that particular schema. Then what are the relationships between those tables? What are the data types? What are the columns? So it does the entire schema discovery. Then the next step which it does is it based on the user question it generates a SQL query. So it takes two things. First, the user question, and then based on the schema discovery that it has just done, it frames a SQL query. And then that SQL query gets fired against the SQLite database and it fetches the results. Now, based on that result set or the data set that it has just fetched, it does some analysis onto that data set and it extracts the insights. Once the insights are extracted, then it renders charts or visuals on the UI. So for rendering charts or visuals, what it does is it generates Python code and then it executes that Python code in isolated environment in E2B sandboxes. And when the Python code gets executed, those charts or visuals gets rendered. So like if I give you some idea like so suppose we have fired a query and then say this show me all the sales for store 1320 on November 1st 2021, then it generates analysis like this, and then based on this analysis it also generates the insights. So here you are seeing five insights, and then based on these five insights it also generates five charts. Okay. And as I mentioned, these charts, for preparing these charts, Python code gets generated and then that code get executed in isolated environment in E2B sandboxes on the cloud. So this is the functionality of this agent. For doing all this work, it makes use of three tools. First tool is the lookup data tool. So this tool does schema discovery. It generates a SQL. It executes the SQL, brings back the results. That's a functionality of this tool. Second tool is data analysis tool. This tool analyzes the data which is returned from database, and then it also extracts the insights from that data. And the third tool is the data visualization tool. So this tool generates Python code and then that Python code gets executed in E2B sandboxes and then the charts are rendered on the UI. So we are making use of these three tools. Now let's see this in this in action. So this is the UI. It's a Streamlit UI, and this is my question. Show me total sales by product category for November 2021. So I'll run the agent for this query. It will take some time because it does a lot of stuff. As I mentioned, it does schema discovery. It frames SQL query against the question. Then it does the analysis. Then the code. Then it generates Python code that gets executed on E2B sandboxes, and then the visuals are rendered. So it takes some time for doing all this work. Let's wait for some time. It will be back anytime soon. After that, once this thing is done, I'll also show you the E2B sandboxes. So we'll come back to here. This is the interface for E2B. So here we'll see uh, the sandboxes part, and then I'll come back to observability. So, but yes, here the this thing is done. The we have received the output. Query executed successfully. This is the generated SQL, which was framed by the agent, and then these are the query results, and this is the complete analysis. This is the analysis. These are the insights from this analysis, and these are the visuals. So since we have three insights, so there are three visuals: first, second, and third for each of the insight. And these visuals, the code for creating these visuals was executed on E2B sandboxes, and these are the sandbox IDs. We'll show, we'll see them as well. Just a minute. So it's stopped now. The sandbox is stopped now because the work was done. But this sandbox was used to execute the Python code. So it took two CPU cores, 2 GB of RAM, some disk. Similarly, if we want, we can search for other sandboxes as well using these IDs. So let's dig more on what was the query. So query was show me total sales by product category for November 2021. This was the SQL query which was generated by the agent, and it makes use of schema as well for generating this query. And these are the query results. So we are seeing all the categories, their total sales against each of the categories. Okay, and then this is the total, and this is the analysis, and these are the insights. So it's saying electronics category dominates with 73% of total sales across all product categories. Then stationery significantly underperforms with only 6% of total revenue compared to other categories. Revenue concentration shows a 12:1 ratio between highest performing electronics and lowest performing stationery. So it is not just returning the data based on our query, it also doing the analysis, finding the insights, and then it is also creating the visuals for better understanding. So these are the visuals. So for each of the insights, it is creating the visuals. So this third visual is for the third insight, like it is comparing, like the here you can see the ratio between the highest and the lowest item in terms of revenue. Then in the second visual, it is showing uh, against again almost the same thing, that the comparison of sales between the highest item and the lowest item. And then this is the distribution. All right. So we have covered the agent, we have covered the E2B sandboxes. Okay, here we see that we saw that Python code got executed here in E2B sandboxes. Now let's come back to the observability part. So for observability, I have made use of a tool called Phoenix. Phoenix is a tool for observability from Arise AI. So here you can you can see what all your agent is doing, what all it is going through in this Phoenix UI. So this is our last agent run. I'll click here, and before I click even here, you can see that uh, okay, let's go inside here only. So this is the total cost. So like this agent made few calls to LLM. So this was the cost involved, $0.04. By the way, I'm making use of Anthropic Claude Sonnet model, and this was the latency, okay, which was observed. Then okay, before I move on further, let me also show you the graph. So I'm making use of a line graph, and these are the nodes, okay, involved. First is the lookup data, which is our tool number one. Second is the analyze, which is our tool number two. Third is the visualize, which is our tool number three. Okay, now if we go back to Phoenix screen, so here also you can see we have three tools: lookup data. We have traces for three tools: lookup data, then analyze, and then visualize. So we have these three tools being shown here: lookup data, analyze, visualize. And then each of these tools make calls to LLM, which is the Claude Sonnet 4.5. So these are the LLM calls. So this is the LLM call from this tool, lookup data. Then this is the LLM call from the tool analyze. And these three are the LLM calls from the tool visualize. Now we'll see what all is there in each of the nodes and the LLM calls. First, let's go to lookup data. This is the node. So it has input state. This is the input state. This is the output state. The input in the input state we have the query show me total sales by product category for November 2021. Then in the output state, what we have in the output state we have the schema, because schema was discovered. So in the output state we have schema. Then the SQL query is also framed. Here you can see the SQL query. Okay, and this is the data as well, right? Raw data, which was extracted from the database. So this is the input state, output state for this node lookup data. Then let's see the LLM call. And by the way, I'm using Claude Sonnet 4 and not 4.5. So in the LLM call, we can see here that we have system prompt, we have user message, and then we have the output. So in the this is our system prompt. Okay, in the system prompt, we like here you can see that there is some error as well. Okay, so here that's the purpose of observability tool, that it you can see the errors, what all is coming, what all is going on. Okay, so then the schema is there, complete schema is there. Then this is the user query, show me total sales by product category for November 2021. And then this is the output. So this is the output, that this is the query which was framed by LLM. All right, so here you can see the entire thing. It also, you can also see if I go to output, yes, you can also see how many tokens got involved: input tokens, output tokens. So you can also see that information, model name, model provider, the complete thing you can see here. Okay, so total tokens is 638, which is the sum of input tokens and the output tokens. All right. Similarly, we can inspect other nodes as well, like analyze. Okay, in analyze, this is the input state. Input state is the that query which came from the user, the complete schema. Okay, SQL query, raw data. This is the input state, and and then the output state is this, the analysis. So the output of tool number one, which is lookup data, goes into the input of tool number two, which is analyze, and then based on that it does the analysis and shows the analysis. This is the analysis and also the insights. There is no error. And then here you can see the LLM call, the system prompt, the user query. Okay, and then the output. This is the full analysis along with the insights. Okay, And again, not to mention, you can also see how many tokens got involved here. So if you come down here, then you can see these are the tokens involved, 639 and 342. And if you even scroll down further, you can also see the total tokens, which is 981. So if some of your tool is consuming a lot of tokens, you can troubleshoot like which part of the tool is consuming a lot of tokens, and then you can see if there is some problem there. All right. Then moving on to the next node, which is visualize. Here also we have an input state. Input state contains the user query, schema, okay, schema, then the SQL query, raw data, analysis, insights, everything goes into the third tool, which is the visualization tool. There is no error. And then the output is the Python code generated. Okay. So this is the Python code generated for each of the insights. And then these are the LLM calls, the system prompt, user prompt, output, because since we have three insights, that's why there are three LLM calls. Okay, so as you can see here, that this is, I think this is very helpful to debug or troubleshoot the agentic applications or AI agents, what's going on in the background, because on the outside you can see that things are working fine, it gives the results confidently, but on the background it might be having some issues. Okay, so you can inspect all those things with the help of an observability tool like Phoenix from Arise AI. I think I have covered pretty much which I wanted to cover. So that's it from my side. All right. Thank you.